This is survival at continental scale, wildebeest moving like a living storm, chasing rain, grass, and one more day. Massive herds are not just a spectacle, they are a strategy. In numbers, an Wildebeest. Every animal looks ordinary until you see the tension. They are built for endurance, alertness. The migration is a moving answer to one question: where will the next rain fall? Migration routes are not drawn on paper. They are carved by memory, scent, and generations of trial and loss. Every step costs energy, but staying still costs more, because grass disappears behind them like a drained battery. The herd is a city on the move, with families, rivals, and a constant edge of danger. Calves must learn the route almost immediately, because in migration season, childhood is measured in minutes. Predators do not chase the whole herd. They read it, looking for weakness, separation, hesitation. A lion's advantage is not speed. It is surprise, teamwork, and the moment the herd stops paying attention. The herd becomes armor by doing one thing well: staying together and turning panic into movement. When the chase begins, you see why wildebeest survive. The herd turns into a flood, and predators must pick one target.
Horns are not just weapons. They are a warning. This animal will fight if you close the distance.
Even lions must choose wisely. Injury can mean starvation, so the herd's defense is not just brute force, it is risk.
Migration is not non-stop running. It is a cycle. Move, graze, drink, listen, move again.
Wildebeests are built for processing huge volumes of grass, turning plain calories into the fuel of a long route. Not every hunter sprints. Some hunters follow, patient, observant, ready to exploit exhaustion. The migration has no mercy. If you cannot keep pace, you become a question the ecosystem answers quickly. Rivers are the migration's gates. Water promises life, but crossings can become mass panic. At the edge, the herd hesitates. One animal must choose, and thousands will copy that choice. Under the surface, the river hides its strongest predators, crocodiles designed for ambush in murky currents. A crocodile does not need to chase. It waits with patience older than the river itself. Pressure builds from the back. The front feels danger. The middle feels nothing but bodies. And then one commits. Fear becomes momentum, and the crossing begins like an avalanche. Swimming is not graceful here. It is survival. Heads high, legs churning, eyes fixed on the far bank. In the murk, danger is a silhouette. The herd cannot see teeth, only sudden turbulence and panic. Crocodiles strike with explosive speed. Most miss, some do not. The river becomes a lottery. The far bank is not safety. It is a second test: steep mud, collapsing edges, and exhaustion. A crossing can last minutes or hours. The herd keeps coming because stopping is not an option. Survivors do not celebrate. They simply move on because the route continues beyond the river. And on land, the landscape presents new challenges. Lions move along the river's edge. The lion's moment is the exhausted moment, when legs are heavy and awareness is delayed by shock. The herd's greatest power is recovery. It breaks, it panics, it reforms, and it keeps traveling. This is the route logic. Follow fresh grass in a moving circle, timed to rains that pulse across the ecosystem. Experience matters. Older animals move with less panic, conserving energy, reading the herd like a book. Herd structure is survival engineering. Vulnerable animals inside, stronger bodies on the outside where danger arrives first.
Night adds a new layer of risk. Visibility drops, and predators use darkness like another weapon.
They rest in fragments. Real sleep is dangerous. A herd sleeps with one eye open and one ear turned outward. When morning arrives, the migration restarts like a machine turning on, because the route does not wait.
This is why the migration feels so intense. Every mile demands energy, timing, and awareness. And river crossings
Above the migration, scavengers watch. In this ecosystem, nothing is wasted, and every outcome feeds something. When the rain hits, the plains turn green, and the migration looks like it has found its reward. Even here, there is play, practice disguised as joy, training bodies for the next chase.
Predators conserve energy because they must. A failed hunt costs calories a lion cannot easily replace.
The herd has no leader, but it has a mind, thousands of small decisions forming one direction. Alarm spreads faster than sound. One animal senses danger, and the whole herd becomes a sensor network. Most attacks fail. The herd's advantage is probability. If every lion hunt succeeds, the migration would end. Bulls add intimidation to the herd's defense, standing ground long enough to disrupt a predator's angle.
Routes narrow at rivers. Narrow routes create choke points. Choke points create chaos.
The bank itself can kill. One slip becomes a blockage, and the herd behind keeps pushing.
This is the cruel geometry of migration. Desertion from the herd means lions, but entering the river means crocodiles.
Crocodiles stage themselves where currents concentrate swimmers, because the river's physics becomes their advantage. Once the first wave jumps, the rest follow. The herd is both protector and pressure. In midstream, individuals lose control. They bump, they separate, and separation is what predators wait for. The river erupts without warning. Even when you do not see the strike, you see the reaction. Instant panic, instant acceleration. Survival is speed after the crossing. The safest place is not the bank, it is the herd. On land, lions test the edges. But dense herds present too many horns and too much risk. Calls and snorts are herd language, stress signals, contact signals, and the sound of urgency. After danger, they eat. It looks simple, but it is the engine of the entire migration. Storms are both threat and promise. Rain means new grass ahead, and that promise keeps the herd moving. When the plains turn green, the migration breathes. Fewer tight clusters, fewer panicked surges, just eating and rebuilding. Even in the calm, the body carries evidence. Mud, scratches, fatigue, proof the route extracts a price. From far away, it looks peaceful. Up close, it is relentless. Movement as a requirement for life. Dust is the migration's atmosphere. It coats lungs, eyes, and skin, and still the herd runs, because stopping is worse. Rivers never stop being dangerous. Even when quiet, they remain a boundary filled with hidden mouths. Sometimes the herd finds a better crossing. Sometimes it avoids the worst places. But no crossing is truly safe.
Even drinking is guarded. Heads dip fast, then lift fast, because water is where ambush becomes easiest.
Predators do not always attack. Often they wait, because the herd today is too strong.
The rule is simple. Stay inside the herd. The moment you drift outside, you become visible.
They keep moving into darkness because the route is a clock. When grass runs out, time runs out.
And then another river, another decision. The migration repeats its hardest chapters again and again. Fear is contagious, but so is courage. One leap forward can unlock the whole herd.
Not every crossing is chaos. Sometimes it is disciplined, proof the herd learns, even without a leader. The pattern is always the same. Regroup, reform, and move, because the herd itself is the best defense. Migration routes are not random wandering. They are a seasonal circuit, an ancient loop tuned to rain and grass.
They are not glamorous animals, but they are tough, built to move, built to endure. Lions, crocodiles, rivers, and drought. Wild beasts survive by facing the same enemies every year.
By the time the horizon swallows them, you understand the real miracle is not one crossing. It is the entire journey. An individual is fragile. A herd is resilient. That is the wild beast's secret. Survival through togetherness.
Wild beasts survive by turning movement into armor, massive herds, ancient roots, and the courage to cross